Okay friends, to get started on doing the tranny line, we can do it one of two ways. We can either climb underneath the vehicle and reach right on up behind this area, which you can do. It's easy access. It's just a little bit harder to get to all the way up here. Or you can do it the way I'm going to show you and remove the front grille. That's going to be very easy. We're going to take off this plastic cover first. You're going to notice all along the top cover, there's all these little push clips. Remove the centers. I'll show you. Come right under with a little forky tool or a screwdriver. Lift up the center, and then you can lift up the outer portion. We'll do the same to all. Get this off of here. Now let's go ahead and grab onto these. Give them a little wiggle, pull them right out of there. Lift up your headlamp assembly. Set that aside. You can see one of the little clips. I'm going to go over and do the same to the other headlight assembly first, and then we'll start removing the clips. So now if you grab the plastic, you can tell that it's attached here, here, and there's a couple more down the line. If you were to take some long nose pliers, grab on along the back side here, you're going to have to imagine it until I can show you in 1 second. I'm going to squeeze those two tabs together, and I'm going to try to draw this out from the body. There we are. You can see the two tabs. This is all I did. Just grab it, squeeze it, and try to draw it out. We're going to do the same to all of them. And down here. There we are, and the same on the other side. Now that those are all out, let's get this out of here. So now with that out of the way, we have a clear view of our transmission cooler here. We want to double check to make sure that we're going to be removing the correct line. So to do that, I'll just climb underneath there, take a look at the piece I've got, make sure it's correct to what I need, and we'll continue. Just looking at the line that we have, we can tell that we have the angle and it's a short area here. Looking at this one, I have the angle and a nice short area. It's very obvious that this is not the one. The next thing we're going to do is get this plastic piece off of here. The plastic is just going to break away, and then behind that, you're going to find your locking clip. Right behind here, I'm going to spray down this area with some penetrant and let it sit for a second. Now it's time to get the line clip out of here. There is a special tool you can get that would slide around this line, slide up into this area right here, and you'd be able to take the clip off fairly easily. Not everybody has access to that tool, so I prefer to use a pick. If you were to take your pick and feel along inside the grooves, you're going to feel some little ears for where the clip is going to be. Once I get it out of here, I'll show you what it looks like so you'll have a much better idea of what's going on. But I'm going to grab onto the ear with my pick, and then I'm going to use a small pocket screwdriver, grab onto the other side, and then just pull it right out. That's what the clip looks like, and it sits right inside the grooves. Okay, before we go ahead and take this line out of here, let's go ahead and put a nice collection bucket under there so we can make sure we recycle that fluid. Now it's going to be time to get the line out of here. I'm just going to use a punch and my hammer and see if I can help it along. There it is. Now that we've got that loose, let's go ahead and get the line out of its bracket. Just make sure you follow that line, find exactly where it goes. This one comes right up here to the top. We're going to remove this the same way we did the other one. Get the plastic out of the way. Now we'll get the clip off of there. There it is. Grab that line, give it a little wiggle, and pull it out. So we just made our way underneath the vehicle real quick, and I took off the front skid plate, which you don't necessarily need to do, but if you wanted to, you could just remove some of the 15mm bolts that hold it up. I'm going to wiggle this around, and then I'm just going to try to see if I can get it to want to spin, and then want to come out of here. I'm going to twist it, move it around until it wants to slide out of here. There we are. Now before we get started on installing our new line, we want to make sure that we tape this end up. The reason why is because it's very dirty underneath these vehicles and we don't want anything to get inside. I like to use a little bit of electrical tape. I'll just kind of go over the end and then give it a couple quick wraps just to make sure it can't fall off on its own. Now I'm going to put the side that's going to be going up towards the radiator, which of course we taped off the end, up and through here first. You'll notice that it's nice and flexible. That's nice. come up like this. And we're just going to kind of curve it up and around. And at this point, what we're going to try to pay attention to is this end, because this is the hard end. This is the area that we can't necessarily bend. So we'll just see if we can get everything working the way that it should, and hopefully it'll work its way up and around the frame like it needs to. That should be going up along the top. Just want to make sure you get that line going up so it's going to be going along the radiator. Okay. Just going to put this in there so it holds it for me for now. Oh, actually take that out, put this up there. Now press it in so it'll hold. Perfect. Now it's going to be time to insert our little clippy-doos into the grommets there. We just want to make it so the ears fit into the little groove. Oops. Obviously it can't hang loose like that. There we are. I just heard it click in. I can see that it's sitting perfectly. Now I'm going to remove all my tape here and we'll get ready to insert this. Let's go ahead and get the line up in here. Nice little wiggle. Make sure it's completely in there. You want to look at that clip and see if it looks like it's pushed out and away from the adapter. If it looks like it's pushed out, more than likely the line isn't completely in. This looks good. We'll take the lock, slide that over it, and that's going to ensure that the clip does not come out. Let's do the same to the other side of the line. There we are. Slide it up, click it in. Make sure you give it a nice tug. You need to ensure that this cannot come loose. If it falls right out, it's going to come loose when you start the vehicle. That feels good. Grab the plastic lock, slide it on over that. There we are. Go ahead and clean down the area. Same thing up there. Once the areas that we just cleaned down are nice and dry, the next thing I like to do is start up the vehicle and check the transmission fluid. We know we lost a little bit of fluid, so we need to make sure that it's topped off. Also, we need to make sure that we don't have any leaks coming from the areas that we connected the line in. If you see fluid coming out right here, obviously it's not set in there the way it needs to be, and the same up along the radiator. Now, once we've confirmed that everything's good, let's start putting it all back together here. Let's get that right back in here. Let's get the cover back on here. Take all your little push clips, slide them in, lock them down. Okay, we've got this all back together now. One last thing is just to double check your transmission fluid once it's warm. Make sure it's full. You don't want to road test it until it's definitely where it needs to be in the operating range. Once you've done that, go ahead and take it for a road test.